Hello Infiniteers! Today I'm going to build the racetrack that goes around the castle, and then I'm going to race it. I had also planned to finish the build exercise for this toy box today, but after reviewing everything that I had left to do, I think that would make this video much too long, and so I'm just going to focus on the racetrack today, and next time I'll finish building everything else. Now, whenever I build a toy box adventure world, I always like to include other things to do besides the main quest. I don't know how it is on other systems, but it takes a while to load a toy box on my Wii U, so the more fun things I can pack into a toy box, the better. I want to make it worth the wait time. So for this toy box, adding a racetrack was a natural choice, because the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep game included a mini-game in the world of Disney Castle called Rumble Racing. Here's what Rumble Racing looked like in that game. It's a dirt track with lots of tight turns, some interesting obstacles like those whirlwinds, and even some shortcuts. It also featured vehicle weapons and boost pads. Now, as I mentioned in episode 2, the original Rumble Racing course was in a separate location away from Disney Castle and Disney Town, out in that direction. And for my racetrack, though, I chose to make the track go around the castle in order to reduce the size of the toy box and make it as compact as possible. And I needed to do that to save memory. So let me show you how to build my version of this track. We're going to begin with this little terrain cube. I'm going to put a couple spacer toys in here. So we're going to put one block here on the corner and another block there. And then we're going to go to the racetrack pieces. And we're going to place this right on the corner, just like that. That will be the starting line for the race, and we can take those little blocks out. And for the theme on the racetrack, we're going to use Mickey's Fertile Farmland. I'll set that to be my theme. All of the racetrack is going to use this theme. All right, so then we'll scroll over to the right and pick up the curve, and we'll start building. So this piece will sit in here like this, and then we need, oops, thought I placed that down. Oh, it's hitting those buildings, the sidewalk piece there. All right, let me pick this little piece up and move it up out of the way. That's easy enough. And then that piece will sit in there like that. Then we can put our sidewalk back. If it'll let us. It's not going to let me do that. That is very interesting. All right, well, for right now, I'll take that out. We'll deal with that in a minute. Okay. So once again, pick that up, put that down. And then we need to scroll back to the left and pick up the short racetrack piece. That's going to sit in here like that. And then as you're about to see, we're going to run into another collision problem. Right there. So that those couple of terrain pieces there are going to be in our way. So we're going to need to move those. So first thing I'm going to do is come down here and change the theme on this. I'm not really going to change it, but I need to set my theme to be Tink's Treasures. So we'll do that. And then we're going to move this piece out here temporarily. I'll delete it in a moment. And we'll do the same thing with this one. Okay, unfortunately those two pieces are right near each other here in the toy box. There's that one, and then there's that one. So in the editor drawer, they're right there next to each other. Alright, so while we're doing that, we can put down this other little piece of sidewalk over here as well. So we're going to raise these up just to get those out of the way. And then we're going to put down a replayer. We're going to use this to put down the pieces that are colliding. So I'll come out of the editor, and then we'll step on the replayer. And on my Wii U, I press B in that menu in the lower right corner to start recording. And then we'll go back to the terrain toys. And we'll put these pieces back in. By putting them down with a replayer, we can get around this bounding box problem a lot of times. And that's the case here. So we'll put both of those down. And if we go back to the decorations drawer, we can put this piece down over here. And then we will exit. And we'll step on the replayer again to get that menu in the lower right. I press B again to stop recording and A to clear. And that takes the pieces out that we just put in. And now we can put the racetrack back without any kind of problem with the bounding box. So that one we can drop into place. This one we can drop into place. And then we can come back to our replayer, and when we do a playback, it should fit those pieces in where they need to be. So we'll step on the replayer. I press Y on my Wii U to playback. That puts those pieces in. That puts that little sidewalk piece in. So there we go. So now we can delete these. And we really don't need the replayer anymore either, so we can delete that. All right. And now we can continue building the racetrack. So we're going to need another short racetrack piece. Followed by another turn. Kind of a shame those are separated so far apart. And then we're going to put in a very long piece, followed by a long racetrack, followed by racetrack left, and then another very long piece, and a turn. And then we need a very short piece. Put that in there like that. Followed by 3 very long pieces. And then another racetrack left. And another racetrack left. That puts us going into the canyon. Then we'll put in the racetrack piece, and I kind of like to keep the little brown line there in the middle lined up if I can. And then another very short piece, followed by our turn. Putting in those little pieces helps us line this up so this goes pretty much down the middle of the canyon. Not perfectly, but Close enough. And at this point we want 3 of these. So 1, 2, 3, followed by another turn. Like that. And then another very long piece. And another turn. And we're going to run into some problems here. So once again, we're going to need a replayer. We'll use this to help us out. And we'll move both of these. Alright, so we'll do the same thing we did before. Put this in the corner. Put this up here next to it. And then we'll exit out of the editor. Step on the replayer. Stop recording and clear. And then we can do a playback. And at this point we can delete that replayer. Okay, back to the racetrack pieces. We need a short piece now. And then another turn. And then we just need to connect up these 2 pieces of track. So this isn't quite long enough. We're going to need that and another little very short width of track, like that. And there we go. There is our racetrack around the toy box. Okay, let's go ahead and put some features in on this track now. So as we come over here, right after this turn, we're going to put in some vehicle weapon generators. And we find those in the Creativitoys drawer. If we go back to the left from the replayer, I'm going to put in 3 of these and make sure I put these where I want them. Yeah, right off the end of that turn. So right on the start of the straightaway. We're going to space these out just a little bit. And again, when you place these down, you have to turn them on because they're off by default. So you have to go into the logic menu, open up the properties, and turn on auto spawn pickups. And I apologize, my voice is a little weak today. It's cold and rainy here, which are the triggers for my asthma, so my voice isn't as strong as it usually is. Alright, we're going to place a couple more vehicle generators over here around this corner. We've got the seam for the racetrack right there, and we got the seam for the terrain. So if we come up here in the middle of the lane, we kind of go back a few nudges here. We'll put a couple of them right there. The exact placement of those doesn't really matter. Just don't want them right around the corner. I kind of want them a little bit out of sight, so you don't really see them until you round that corner. Because if you place them back here, the player is going to be able to see them before they're on them. So now, as you start coming around the corner, it's not till you commit to going around the corner that you see those. And depending on the line you take, you might miss those. And that's kind of intentional. All right, and then we can put in those whirlwinds. So fortunately, we do have something like the whirlwinds. If you look in the platforming toys, we got the little whirlwind we can add. And we have a path that we can stick it on to make it move. And so that'll feel very much like the original game if we do this. So I'm going to make this kind of the center of the circle. So from here we're going to back up a little ways. So about maybe here. We'll put that down. That puts us in point mode, and we're going to go this way. And I think that point on the left might be a little far out. I'm going to bring that back just a little bit. Make this a little bit more of a circle. And then in the properties for the path, we're going to leave this on. We're going to turn on the looped flag, and I'm going to set the speed of this thing to be 300. All right, so that's pretty good. And then we'll set down our whirlwind. And I'll put this over here kind of off of the toy box for right now. Open the logic menu for that, do a new path connection. And we'll connect that up to our path. And there it goes. And that's moving a little too fast. So let's change the speed on this. I'm going to drop this to be 250. That's pretty good. Don't want it to go too fast. Don't want it to go too slow though either. If it goes too slow, it's too easy for the player to avoid it. And we'll put a second one down here. So once again, back to the Creativity Toys, and right on the seam for the two pieces here that angle left, we'll drop our point. Last time we went that way, let's go the other direction this time. This time I don't think I went far enough with that point. So let's go a little bit further to the right. Alright, so back to our properties on the path. Speed 250. Looped is on. And out here we'll drop our next whirlwind. By putting it out here, it's not going to collide with any trees we want to put down later. Because again, when you connect something to the path, the game still thinks it's where you originally put it down. When it does the bounding box check, it's not always checking it where it's at. So you can see we're selecting it even though we're way out here, because that's where it had been before we connected it to the path. So if you try to place a tree or anything else here, it's going to cause a problem. That's why we put it out over there and not sit it down here on the grass. Alright, so now we got 2 whirlwinds, each going the different direction across the track. And that looks pretty good. We got some vehicle weapon generators. We got the racetrack. All we need now is a car and we can race it. So I'm going to put down a car temporarily. Let's see, ground vehicles. Doesn't really matter. We'll drop this one. And because we're racing, that's why I got Vanellope von Schweetz with me today. All right. And if we did everything right, when we drive onto the start piece, this little menu should come up. So let's do some racing.
Ciao, Lightning. You're looking good. Not as good as Francesco, but still good.
Ah, I missed. Oh, I did get it. Whoa. Whoa, it got lightning. That was cool. Whoops, I don't want to pick that up. Kind of almost can't see that whirlwind until you're right on top of it. Oh! That was rude. And it'll be a little harder to cheat once we put some plants in here next time. Right now I'm kind of cheating and cutting the corners. Oh, I missed. Oh. Oh no. I think that just ended the race for me. Oh. I don't think I'm going to be first this time. And there we go, I came in second. It's a simple little race, but it's fun. So that's it for Rumble Racing in the Disney Infinity Toy Box. Next time I'll add the plants and the remaining building pieces, and that will finish the build exercise for this toy box. Thank you for watching. Before you go, please hit the like button and leave a comment to let me know what you think of my version of Rumble Racing. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done that. All you have to do is click my photo in the lower right corner of this video. That's all for today. See you next time.